The best thing you can do in this situation, do anything you can to avoid being pinned or submitted. And with this being a six-pack challenge, all 6 superstars are in the ring at the same time. And at the end of it, the one who survives will be at the top of the mountain, will be able to call themselves the WWE Champion. For Sheamus, as champion, there is a lot of weight on his shoulder. Oh, Jericho looking to get an early elimination on Randy Orton. And let's say, you go back to SummerSlam and a last chance match for the WWE Championship. It was Randy Orton and Sheamus, where Randy Orton would defeat Sheamus, but it was via disqualification. And then for the rest of the superstars in this match, besides Wade Barrett, that is, we're on Team WWE. Taking on Wade Barrett's Nexus. Meanwhile, Randy Orton can strike out of nowhere with an RKO. And down goes Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho is out of here. Chris Jericho cannot believe what just happened. That's just how dangerous Randy Orton is. He can strike out of nowhere. Chris Jericho thought this was his time to be at the top of the mountain. From a guy who once upon a time defeated Stone Cold and The Rock on the same night. Well, nothing defeats a Viper that strikes out of nowhere. Chris Jericho, much like everybody else in this arena, never saw it coming. But most importantly, though, Chris Jericho absolutely never saw it coming. And the official Charles Robinson telling Chris Jericho, yeah, you've been eliminated. It's time to go. Absolute shock being eliminated this early on in this matchup. And you see the look of despair in the eyes of Jericho. And the other competitors can't believe it. How sudden, how soon, how quickly things can change. The complexity of a match, the dynamic has shifted. Jericho walking that lonely road. The only one that he's ever known as he walks up that entranceway back to the locker room. Jericho doesn't even know what to think. Meanwhile, the other 5 competitors are in the ring. And with that being such an interesting elimination happening as early as it did in this matchup, the shock factor of it kind of created a breather for almost like a fresh restart. But now 5 competitors. Meanwhile, Wade Barrett is stuck in the middle of the other 4. You got Edge, Cena, Sheamus, Orton, all pounding away on the leader of the Nexus, Wade Barrett. The torture that Wade Barrett has caused the WWE locker room alongside his Nexus members earned him that beatdown. And how ironic was it that Cena went for Edge, Orton went for Sheamus. You talk about a feud that has gone back and forth year after year. Both out of the 2002 OVW class, Randy Orton and Cena. Meanwhile, Wade Barrett came to break that up. And Edge going after Randy Orton. There's a lot of history between those two. You go back to Rated RKO, former tag team champions. Sheamus and Edge trying. Oh, there it is. I don't know what Wade Barrett thought was going to happen there, but whatever you thought was going to happen didn't happen. John Cena taking out Edge. Orton takes out Sheamus. And once again, look who we're back down to. We're back down to Orton. We're back down to Cena. The two in the ring. Cena looking to become a 10-time champion. Orton looking for number 6. Look at this stare down between these two superstars. You could feel the aura, the energy. Oh, Orton went for an RKO. Cena went for an STF. Orton broke free. And now that Cena's back up on the apron, Orton was looking for that patented DDT. Cena looking for an AA. But what we're seeing is just how well these two know each other after all their interactions over the years. I mentioned rated RKO earlier. Look at this temporary alliance. As Edge and Orton were looking to take out Cena. Meanwhile, Barrett prevented that from happening. And the champion takes out the leader of the Nexus on the outside of the ring. But back in the ring, it's Sheamus looking to take advantage of Cena as Sheamus goes for the cover on a former 9-time world champion. Now it's Sheamus. Heavy bearing blows on John Cena. And now as Sheamus looks for it, looking to power his way through this 6-pack challenge to retain his championship. It seemed that Sheamus was starting his 10 beats of the bottom, but for whatever reason, felt the need to turn his attention to Edge, and then Wade Barrett, and then Randy Orton taking his attention and focusing it on those outside the ring. And now that everyone else has been laid out, Sheamus can really focus in on John Cena. And that high knee to the side of the face of Cena. And the champion is now in the driver's seat. The problem is with 5 competitors still in this, Sheamus still has to get rid of 4 other superstars. That is, if he plans to retain his championship, which is the goal for everyone entering this match, either retaining for Sheamus or becoming new champion. Well, at least for the other 4 that are still left in it. Unfortunately for Chris Jericho, he had an early exit from this matchup. Now look at Cena, who starts to fire back up. And Sheamus with a back elbow to Cena. Cena, you can see the blows that have worn him down. And for Sheamus, Sheamus has found the weakening point of Cena that could get Sheamus ahead. John Cena's got to be the one you want to worry about the most. The man who's overcome all of the odds time and time again. To get him out of this situation would be a big deal. Would truly shift everything in this match. To get rid of a 9-time champion, preventing him from number 10. That's the goal. Get rid of somebody like John Cena. I mean, last year, Sheamus did win his first WWE Championship against John Cena in a TLC match. A tables match at TLC. Cena was looking for that high leg drop, but when it comes to multi-man matches, you got to worry about all the other variables. There's external variables. Literally, Edge being outside of the ring and taking down John Cena off the top. John Cena and Edge have some rich history, so Edge and Sheamus going to work together to take out Cena out of the equation. Edge won his first WWE Championship by cashing in the Money in the Bank on a battered Cena who had just won the Elimination Chamber match. You go back to New Year's Revolution 2005. And Edge looking to put Cena away. And Sheamus didn't really need to break up that 3 count. And it's Barrett. I'm surprised that more time hasn't been focused on getting Wade Barrett out of the equation after everything that the Nexus has caused the entire WWE roster, terrorizing the locker rooms, destroying matches, just interruption after interruption. Meanwhile, Sheamus and Edge just dragging a lifeless Randy Orton back into the ring. And this is quite the combination. You've got an ultimate opportunist and a man who loves to fight in Sheamus. Let's not forget Edge won his 4th WWE Championship last year. So Edge is getting up there when it comes to holding the biggest prize in sports entertainment. For the way that Edge and Sheamus are working, this is kind of how I imagined Edge and Chris Jericho putting their differences aside, with those two having a bit of history together. I'd imagine something like that occurring, but with Chris Jericho seeing an early exit, Edge compromising a little bit, and working with an unlikely ally in Sheamus to kind of level the playing field. Meanwhile, Orton nearly eliminated by Sheamus. Edge working with Sheamus to get rid of Randy Orton. Edge, almost better than anybody, knows just how dangerous Randy Orton can be. I mean, the two won the tag titles together. There's a reason for that. When you pick a tag team partner, you know how dangerous your partner is. That's why you pick an effective tag team partner. You know the ins and outs of what they're capable of. And Cena, who is still laid out on the floor, has not been seen for the last few minutes. Randy Orton is just receiving this 2-on-1 beating with no sign of hope whatsoever. This is not good for Randy Orton whatsoever. Oh, but Orton comes out of the corner and explodes. Edge taken out. Sheamus taken out. Snap power slam. Randy Orton shifting gears. But a battering axe handle takes out Randy Orton. And that's just how quickly Sheamus can cut down a Viper. Meanwhile, Wade Barrett trying to get back in this. And Barrett gets knocked off the apron again. And now it's Sheamus and Edge going at it. Edge takes down Sheamus. Edge finds himself with an opportunity. Edge, you saw the look in his eyes. The widening of the eyes. Say it all. Looking for a spear, but nobody home. But Edge able to block himself from hitting the rope. Hitting the turnbuckles, that is. And the Irish Curse backbreaker takes down the Rated R superstar. Sheamus perhaps looking for his opportunity to get an elimination on Edge. Kind of pacing back and forth as he's measuring up the Rated R superstar, looking for that bro kick. Oh, Edge ducks. And a spear. Look at Orton. Orton looking for an RKO. RKO, but sent into an AA. And a spear to Orton. Now Cena with an AA. And nope. Edge was looking for that execution. And now another counter. Cena deep with an AA. And see ya later. Edge has been sent over the edge as Cena has eliminated the Ultimate Opportunist, and now Wade Barrett comes for easy pickings on. And unbeknownst Cena, who had no idea what was going on inside the ring. Wade Barrett looking to prove that that bare knuckle background of his can take out John Cena. Wade Barrett, as I mentioned, who does have that bare knuckle background, bare knuckle champion throughout all of Europe. And oh, Cena looking to counter, looking to get rid of Wade Barrett, looking for that AA, but Wade Barrett squirming. And nice counter. You saw the way that when he squirmed, he was able to shift the body weight to turn it into a DDT to take out Cena, to eliminate John Cena. That would be huge for Barrett. Barrett hasn't forgotten what happened at SummerSlam last month when John Cena led Team WWE to victory over the Nexus, yet the Nexus still look to terrorize the WWE locker rooms. They still look to interrupt matches and take control of WWE. Those are shots you don't want to be on the receiving end of. And Cena coming in hot. Cena picking up the pace. And Wade Barrett goes down. And we know what comes next for John Cena. What did five fingers say to the face? 5 knuckle shuffle. And now Cena measuring his man, looking for the AA. But Cena blocked it. And Sheamus hit Barrett. Oh no, Sheamus caught in the STF. Cena realized Sheamus was very close to the bottom. Cena pulls Sheamus all the way back to the middle. And now the champion is in deep trouble. He's going to have to crawl. If Sheamus taps, we'll be guaranteed to have a new champion. And Cena. Sheamus fingertips. Is he going to do it? Oh. Touch, he got fingertips. And there it is. You had to wonder how close Sheamus was to actually submitting to that STF from John Cena. And then, as I said, as you had to wonder, you also had to wonder how long it was going to take before this was set to happen. The Nexus making an appearance. Cena's caught. Cena has been sent to the wasteland by Wade Barrett. And Cena is out. And the Nexus screws Cena once again. Wade Barrett. And now, like a pack of wolves, Randy Orton being laid out by the Nexus. It's Orton, it's Sheamus still left in this. There are no disqualifications. You can't win by disqualification or count out. It's pinfall submission only. So for Randy Orton, he's got no way of, really getting back at the Nexus in terms of getting them removed. And now he realizes the situation he's in, and he is not happy. But he's also struggling to get back up to his feet. But if there's one thing you can say about Randy Orton, he doesn't accept defeat that easy. Uh-oh. And Barrett calling his dogs who surround the ring. But Cena taking out the Nexus. Cena may be eliminated, but who wants the future of WWE in good hands? And that be with somebody who was in the Nexus. RKO to Slater. Uh-oh. Wasteland for Randy Orton, but Orton counters. And that backbreaker from Orton. And the Viper is coiled and ready to strike. Cena might not like Orton, but on this night, Cena hates the Nexus a whole lot more. And an RKO. And it's all done for Barrett and the Nexus. Bye-bye. And now it's down to Randy Orton and Sheamus. Sheamus wants to retain. Could we crown a new champion? And Randy Orton will Sheamus retain. And the bro kick. Sheamus will retain. Oh, no, 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 no. Sheamus absolutely fuming, dumbfounded, at a loss for words that Randy Orton just kicked out of that kick. And now a Celtic Cross looking to put Randy Orton away. Orton talked. RKO! Randy Orton once again is WWE Champion. 7-time for the Viper. Orton, for the 7th time in his illustrious WWE career, can call himself champion. Through all the odds stacked against Orton after Nexus came out to help Wade Barrett, Cena, Randy Orton's biggest rivals throughout his career, would come to the aid to save the future of WWE so that that championship did not belong around the waist of the Wasteland himself, Wade Barrett. That championship on this night is now held by WWE's Apex Predator. Congratulations. What a night for Randy Orton.